What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kezhan'e Latese, and I'm back with another video.
You steady mad because you insecure. I'ma keep posting all these pictures, boy. You fuck this up now, you stuck real on it. You say I'm wild and then I wanna see it. Yeah. I'ma keep doing this ass if I want to. I'ma make this shit clap if I want to. Told you I like you, but now.
Y'all, it's been so long since I did a sit-down video, but I'm back, and we about to get into the juicy, okay? Your girl just had a baby. When did I have a baby? I had a baby almost 2 months ago. It'll be 2 months on January the 9th. And y'all, it has been an experience so far. I really wanted to document my pregnancy all throughout, but you know, I was very unmotivated. I was like focusing on making sure she was good, she was healthy, and like just making sure I was at peace with myself. So I do kind of regret not getting much content while I was pregnant, but I did get some content while I was pregnant. And if you haven't checked that out, just go to my channel, make sure you subscribe and check that out. But let's get into the juicy, okay? Y'all, I really had a baby. Let's start there. I really had a baby, and it is genuinely like such a blessing. It's such an experience, and like I wish nothing but positive pregnancies. And you know, to the people that are trying, like I wish so much success over you in your womb to have a child or children or whatever you want. Like I just wish like peace, happiness, and just a healthy pregnancy over you. Right now my baby over here, if she wake up, we just gonna have to deal with it. So let's get into like how I was throughout my pregnancy before I gave birth. Y'all, literally every appointment that I went to, they were like, you're good, everything is looking good, you know, we don't see an issue. I didn't have any underlying health issues. I passed my glucose test, even though I had to take it like, I didn't know I was supposed to take it twice. I thought I just like, if I passed it one time, I didn't have to take it, but I was told to take it twice. I took it twice. My blood work, everything came out fine. You know, they do the test, the genetic testing to see if the baby would come out, you know, with, you know, certain issues. Everything came out so good. My pregnancy was good. Now, I will say, as I further progressed, further got along, and I'll try to insert like pictures of how my belly was looking, you know, and certain things like that. I would notice like I was having so much pelvic pain, but when I looked it up or when I discussed it with my doctor, they were like, it's okay, you're good, you know, that's what comes with it, you know, you're expanding, so that's what's happening. So I was having pelvic pain, y'all. When I say, when I would lay down and if I was trying to like flip over on the side, it felt like some bones down there was just like grinding together. Like I felt everything. I was in pain. There was times where I had to call out of work because I was like, yeah, today is not, I can't do it. I just can't do it because I'm in so much pain and I'm not about to risk being, well, I was at the hospital because I'm a phlebotomist, so I was working at the hospital, so of course I could go to the emergency room, but just all of that walking floor to floor, it was really getting to me. And I think that pain started around maybe 7 months, because before then it was okay and it wasn't that bad, but baby, when I hit that 7-month mark, I started feeling it real bad. And I'm already like, I'm a bottom heavy girl, so I was feeling stuff in my back, and then especially with the big belly at that point, it was just like, bruh, I'm tired. Like, I'm literally tired. But every time I would go to an appointment, baby is fine. So I would say maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks before my appointment, I go in before deliver. Was it it was either 2 or 3 weeks before I'm supposed to deliver. I go into my doctor's appointment, and my doctor is like, hey, we're gonna do a ultrasound since I was getting close, and then they were gonna check if I was dilated. They checked if I was dilated. I was not dilated. And then they did the ultrasound. Now, they were like, she was telling me, oh, we have to see if she's making certain movements to make sure everything is good. It was like she has to be making this certain movements, practice breaths. That's what it was, y'all. She was like, we have to check if she's doing practice breaths. So I'm laying there, she's rubbing on my belly. She was like, oh, she doesn't want to do anything. Now, no, every time I go to an appointment, Cadence is like, you know what I'm saying, she don't want to be bothered. Like, she either got her back turned or she don't want to move right, like, but she get agitated. And that's just how she is now. Like, leave me alone, let me do what I do. So I tried to tell her, I'm like, every time I come to the appointment, she want to act up. So I'm telling the doctor, she's fine. She's been moving. She was like, has she been moving? I'm like, yeah, she was just moving before you walked into this room. So she was like, we have to make sure. Have you ate anything? And I'm like, well, sometimes y'all tell me not to really eat anything, but to drink something before I come. So she was like, well, I'm just going to give you a bar. So she leaves out the room. She comes back and gives me like this little breakfast bar. I eat it, and she's like, I'll be back. So in the meantime, while she's going out the room, I'm like, bruh, my anxiety is getting bad because I'm like, is my baby okay? You're saying she's not making practice breaths. I'm confused. What's going on? And at the end of the day, as a black woman, we had to advocate for ourselves. So I'm like, what's tea? Like, what's going on? Like, I need to know what's going on. So I'm over here like, Lord Jesus, I'm praying like, God, whatever's going on, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus, okay? Because I'm a spiritual girl. I'm like, I'm going on, but let me, pray and figure this out. So I eat the bar, and then before I know it, she's over here dancing, prancing in my stomach, and I'm like, okay, she's moving like she was just moving before, the lady walked in the room. So I'm sitting there, y'all. Literally, this lady don't come back to like 30-40 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, you missed it. She was doing all this. So she laid me back down on the table, do the ultrasound, and she finally gets the practice breaths that she was wearing. And I was like, yeah, I'm telling you, she was moving. She just, she's stubborn. I knew what my baby was before she came out. A mama know. I'm like, she's stubborn. But it's just like, at the end of the day, y'all have to advocate for yourself. Because she also was telling me, she was like, if I don't get her to doing the practice breath, we might have to deliver this baby today. And I'm saying, like, deliver what baby? What baby we delivering today? What? Girl. So I was like, yeah, she's good. She's stubborn. That's just how she has been all of the appointments. Cool. Y'all, fast forward. After I leave the appointment, a couple weeks go, getting closer to my due date, and like literally like weeks before my due date, days before my due date, I'm doing everything. I'm walking, I'm drinking the raspberry leaf tea, y'all. I'm doing everything because at this point I was in pain. I was a mess. I'm gonna insert that video. I was so swollen in the face. Like, I thought I wasn't gonna get swollen in the face, but at that end, baby, I was swollen in the face. I was aggravated, and I did cry. I wanted her out. So, obviously, I got favorites. It's November the 7th. I'm still pregnant. My due date is tomorrow. If she don't come by tomorrow, I have to get induced on the 10th. To be honest, if we're being completely honest, I am so discouraged. because I thought she would be here a little bit earlier and stuff. And I'm tired. Like, I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired of being pregnant. Especially when you gotta do it by yourself and stuff like that. It's so tiring. But this is how big I am. I just want her to come out. So, if you hear me, please. I wanted her out. I wanted her out. I wanted her out. Because it was at the point, I just want my baby. I just want to hold my baby. So, I wasn't stressing myself out. I was just tired. I was tired. I was big and tired. So, y'all, the day before my due date, which was November the 8th, I was walking. I was drinking that tea. And I went to sleep that night. On November the 7th, I went to sleep. In the middle of the night, like 4 in the morning, I wake up to me peeing on myself. So I'm like, bruh, now this has happened before while I was pregnant. And it has happened before. And I was like, oh, bruh, I peed. I was agitated with myself because, damn, I got to get up, take the sheets off, put some more sheets on. Just a whole ordeal. And I did not feel like doing it. So I'm getting up. Now, note, the light was off and my TV was off. So no lights was on in the room. So I'm like, I had to pee. So I get up, go turn the light on, and I look at my sheet. I have white sheets. I look at my sheet, and it's blood there. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, hello? It wasn't a lot of blood, but it was blood where it's like, I haven't been bleeding my whole pregnancy. I haven't bled nothing during my pregnancy. So what is this? Surprise. So I get this damn phone. I click on Google, like, blood in urine, water. And what's crazy, the fluid that came out, it wasn't even yellow. It was like clear fluid. So at this point, I'm like, bruh, did my water just break? And like, of course, you know, you see all these videos where these ladies, like, they tell you about their water breaking. But it's so different when you experience it yourself. So I'm like, bruh, was this my water breaking? Because I had watched videos where women, and I know everybody's different, but I like to, you know, get information on certain things. So it was like, one girl, she said, well, you know, my water broke and it just kept going and kept trickling. And like at that moment, it wasn't like really trickling for me. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I just peed. And so in my head, I'm like, maybe that was my mucus plug. So I'm like, okay, maybe I just lost my mucus plug or some shit like that. So I just kept, you know, I kept looking on Google. At this time, like, I'm just sitting here looking at Google, like, what's going on? And then I think all of a sudden I started getting cramps. And like, of course I've cramped before because they're like Braxton Hicks. And I had Braxton Hicks for a while I was pregnant. Like, especially at the end of the pregnancy, like month 7 is when they probably started. And I noticed like these were different cramps. Like, they hurt, but they didn't hurt. And I will say this. I know every woman is different, but y'all really, really finessed me. Like, like this shit was gonna be hurting so bad, like it was gonna be unbearable. Like, I don't know if like I just wasn't there yet, but those contractions that I was having, which were real, because we gonna get to that part, they were real contractions. I'm thinking they were gonna be like crazy, but anyway, let's get back to what I was saying. So yeah, I started having contractions, and at this point, I'm like, yeah, I need to go to the doctor. I was like, I'm not trying to risk it, even if it's a false alarm, even if, you know, it's not even time for me to have her. This is my first baby. I'm a black woman. We got to go back to that. I just want to make sure everything is okay. So, I literally had packed. Good thing I had already packed my baby bag and my bag. Cause I don't know, some just told me that I was gonna have my baby on my due date. Like, something told me, like, that night before, like, girl, you gonna have this baby tomorrow. Something told me. So I had already packed everything. I rushed over next door to my dad, and I'm like, Dad, my water just broke. I'm having cramps. It's go time. It's time to have Stinky. Okay, it's time to have her. So we get in the car. You know, my dad's about to be 70, so he like, you okay? I'm like, just get me there. Just get me there. I don't know what's going on. Just get me there. So, you know, we get to the hospital, which, y'all, I get there. A security guard comes out before I can even walk into the hospital. Well, you go to the labor and delivery side. That's where I went. And he got the wheelchair. I didn't even say nothing. He brought the wheelchair out there. I sat in it. He was like, you need to go up? I was like, yes, sir. My water just broke. Got to go up there. He was like, okay. I get up there. They check me in. They ask me questions. And I'm like, I think my water just broke. Like, fluid came out. Little blood. I'm cramping. I'm thinking they're contractions. So they get me on this table. Now, no, I'm in here alone. My dad is like parking the car. I didn't really want my dad in the room with me while they going up in me. That's just me. That's just burning me. I ain't really on that type of time. But I knew I had to call my aunt because my aunt has been there every step. And if you don't know, my mom passed in 2021. So she couldn't be there with me. And my mom and my auntie was the second closest thing to my mom. So I really appreciate her for being there. So anyway, I'm laying on the table. They're like, okay, we're going to check and see if you're dilated. And while I'm sitting there, like, I'm feeling the fluid. So now I'm like, okay, this is what the fluid is like. But mine was like not a consistent pouring out like other women would say, like, ooh, I feel the fluid. Like, no, it was like ever so 15 minutes probably the fluid was coming out or something like that of my water breaking. So they also put the stomach monitor on me. Now I've had that stomach monitor on me before when I had to go to the emergency room and I had a stomach bug and they were monitoring baby, and she would do all types of flips and turns and she wouldn't want to be monitored, but she was good. So when they put that on me, they had went out, they had checked me, they said I was 2 centimeters dilated. Cool. And they were like, we're gonna go ahead and admit you and, you know, get you to labor and delivery. The nurse comes back in and tells me, you know, we're monitoring your baby's heartbeat right now. It's not looking how we want it to be looking. Like, I guess it was dropping and it was going back up and then dropping. It was not a consistent heartbeat and they were concerned. So I'm sitting here like, I've heard this before, but what are you trying to say? And they were like, we might have to do an emergency C-section. Now, no, y'all, this is my first baby, and I wanted to push her out, try to push her out, because I wanted that experience. So it kind of hurt me a little bit when I heard that, and I was like, so I asked them, I was like, so that means I cannot push her out? Like, they were like, if we don't get it under control, if it don't get back right, then emergency C-section. So I was like, okay, all right. So they made me sign a paper just in case something go wrong and do the C-section. So I'm sitting here, I hurry up and call my aunt and let her know, like, hurry up, get up here because they talking about emergency C-section. So I'm sitting there, they're monitoring, and they go ahead and call the doctor that's going to deliver me and, like, ask him questions like, what do you think? Do you think we should deliver? Do you think we should wait? Whatever. So I'm guessing he told them to go ahead and deliver. So, of course, my nerves are getting up, but y'all, I was so calm. I wish I would have recorded in a moment, but I ain't gonna lie. Those contractions was like hitting back to back, and they wasn't hurting. Like I said, maybe I have a high pain tolerance. I don't know. Maybe so. Who knows? But they was hitting, and I really couldn't pick up my phone and stuff. My phone was like all over on the other side and stuff like that, and I just wasn't thinking about no phone in the moment. Now, if I had somebody there with me at that moment to record for me, then that would have been a whole nother different situation, but I didn't. So, they I guess he gave them the go to do a C-section. By that time, my aunt had got up there. They had gave her thing to put on and was like, we're gonna take her in there and get her the epidural. They had asked me, did I have, well, of course you're gonna need epidural with a C-section. I don't think that's not even a choice. But before, they had asked me, did I want epidural, and I was like, yeah, I want an epidural, because I had planned on pushing her out or whatever. So I would also like to say, the nurses that were in there and the doctor that was in there in the triage room, they were so freaking sweet, understanding, caring, patient, very informative. I loved it. Okay? I loved it. Okay? So, they were like, okay. They walk in, and I kid you not, y'all, it was moving fast because my water broke at like 4. I got in there, and you know, of course, with all the paperwork and stuff and all them checking and stuff, it was around like 4. At that point, it was like 4:45 at this point. Like 45 minutes had passed or whatever the case may be, and they was like, okay, we're gonna get you ready to go and get, you know, your epidural. So they take me to the room where I'm gonna get the C-section. It was 2 wonderful ladies, anesthesiologists, that were in there. They were so freaking wonderful with my epidural. Y'all, I went numb so quick. I ain't feel my legs. It was so weird. Like, it was so weird. That experience there was weird. It was good, but it was weird. Like, I have never like been given like anything to numb me. So that was like a different experience at all. But it went real good. It went real good. The pen, like the needle, it wasn't even nothing. Everybody has a different pain tolerance, but for me, that wasn't even nothing. Okay, so they did the epidural, and they got me on a table. At that point, it was like go time. The doctors had got in there. It was like so many people. I couldn't see, of course, because they had the little sheet down there. But you know, before I knew it, I started getting the shake. I had the shakes. Like, I had the shakes. Like, I guess it was the medicine, but I had the shakes. I was praying so hard. Like, Lord Jesus, let everything go good, because I know that's like a major surgery. Like, they're cutting through so many layers, and I ain't never had no surgery, so it was just really, really, really nerve-wracking. But I was praying, and God had me covered. And as I was laying there, I guess they were doing the cutting, and before I knew it, y'all, I heard that beautiful, beautiful cry that she still sound like. Okay, she ain't got rid of that cry yet. I started crying. I used to think that, like, I never thought people was faking when they started crying with the baby, like when they hear the baby cry. But y'all, I think it's like a motherly thing. When you first hear your baby cry, it just does something to you, because it just like gives you a sense of relief. Like, that's my baby. Like, my baby is here. My baby is alive. My baby is breathing. Like, that's what it gave me, because I was already a nervous wreck because y'all seeing my baby heartbeat drop. And they were like, you can hear him like, oh, she's fine. She just wanted to get out of there. And also, I forgot to tell you guys, when they had came back into the triage room after telling me that the heart rate was like, you know, low or whatever, they said that my fluid that was surrounding her was very low, and I was already at 2 centimeters. So at the end of the day, it was to a point where at the end of the day, the C-section was really what I needed. So after that, after she came out, my aunt, she got to go and cut the umbilical cord, and they brought my baby to me. And this is when they brought my baby to me. Y'all, I was crying, y'all. I loved every minute of it. Like, I really had a baby. they quickly, like, I couldn't believe how quick they had sewn me up too. I will say that. And that's gonna be another video if y'all want to know about like my postpartum care, like how that's going. And like if y'all want to take a look at my scar, like it if you want to see, let me know, because like, you know, I know this type of content with first time moms, they want to see it, because me, I personally wanted to see it, and that's what research I was doing. So y'all, they got me, they sent me to the recovery room for maybe an hour or so, and then they got me to my labor room, and I got to be with my princess. Overall, my experience at that hospital, my experience giving birth in general was wonderful. Yes, we had a little hiccup at the end. Literally, she wanted to act up at the very end, but I wouldn't change it for nothing. Like, that's how God planned it to be. It was wonderful. My experience was wonderful. My pregnancy was wonderful. I was at peace. You know, I didn't let nothing stress me out. Don't let nothing stress you out. I'm sorry. Don't let nothing don't let nothing stress you out. But it was so wonderful, and I loved every bit of it. I really did. I just can't believe I'm a mom. That, like, never in a million years would I think I would be a mom. Like, you know, I always thought I was just gonna be that auntie, like the auntie. But I really just, I'm so happy that I'm a mom now, and she's a blessing, and everything went well. My doctor did let me know that if I was to have more children, that my next pregnancy, I can try vaginally to have my baby. And hopefully when that time comes, when I meet my husband, and we have our child, if we, you know, want to have a child, that, you know, I can have the baby vaginally. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be a mom. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are interested in more content like this, please let me know down in the comments below. I will be doing like a postpartum. If you guys want a day or a night with a newborn, let me know. She's about to be 2 months. I'm so excited. But thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. And y'all have a blessed January. And a blessed new year. Love y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Say no. No. Good morning. Okay, baby.